The First Descendant is an impressive addition to the online MMO-lite looter-shooter genre. With stunning visuals, engaging gunplay, and plenty of in-game activities, the First Descendant strives to set itself apart, and may have the moxy and substance to keep players engaged for the long haul. However, while the First Descendant's gameplay loop and incentivization structure are generally polished and fun, the game is clearly designed around making the experience for players who are willing to throw down some cash that much more convenient and enjoyable than if they were to attempt to play the game without cutting any corners. That core design flaw seeps into a few too many aspects of the First Descendant, and arguably holds it back from being something truly special. Before we jump into the review, thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you're not already familiar, this is What's New Video Games, a very, very small video game coverage outlet. Our goal is to provide you with reviews of new games at the time of their release. Because we are so small and don't have a lot of notoriety or sway, it can be incredibly difficult to get a hold of games early to do timely reviews. Thankfully, Nexon provided us early access to the First Descendant via their creator program, and that was only made possible by your support. Every like on our videos and your subscribing to the channel helps us so much by making these types of reviews actually possible. So thank you for being here, please subscribe. Now let's get into the review. The First Descendant's strongest feature is its genre-leading visuals. The game looks vibrant and polished, culminating in a wonderful exhibition of the capabilities of Unreal Engine 5, especially considering the First Descendant is an always-online live service game. Characters' features and gear are incredibly detailed on menu screens, and visual fidelity during gameplay segments can often be strikingly good, with very few performance drops. 3 graphical modes are available, which each offer variations in fidelity versus performance, and 2 out of the 3 options provide reliable frame rate upwards of 60 frames per second. Environments can be a tad dry or underpopulated at times, and the game appears to utilize excessive motion blur in instances, but otherwise it's a game that is ridiculously enjoyable to look at while playing it. Another strong suit of the First Descendant is its diverse cast of characters, which injects some of the charm and allure of hero shooters such as Overwatch and Apex Legends with their now iconic characters into the slightly more mundane online shooter genre. The resulting concoction is incredibly refreshing, and might just be the First Descendant's biggest selling point, given that much of the game's grind is focused around building out your roster of Descendants in order to have access to different abilities and playstyles. During my roughly 35 hours with the First Descendant, I was able to play as the Frostmancer Viessa, the Grenadier Lepich, the Tank Ajax, and the speedy Energizer and preordained fan favorite Bunny. The variance between the characters offered a nice change of pace, and I heartily enjoyed being able to use whichever Descendant felt right for whatever in-game incentive I was looking to chase. In a genre marked by repetition and redundancy, having the option to juxtapose 1 hour of gameplay as Ajax the lumbering juggernaut with a subsequent hour as Bunny the irreverent voltage distributor made for a more than compelling reason to just keep shooting. On the topic of shooting, well, obviously in the First Descendant, players will be doing a lot of it, and it feels excellent. The riddling of bullets feels and sounds fantastic, with mild DualSense controller features even being utilized on the PS5. Visual feedback is also great, with particle effects and damage numbers satisfyingly rippling outward from soon-to-be felled enemies. Descendants carry 3 guns at a given time with the ability to swap freely between them. Collecting ammo could be a bit tedious in moments, but overall the ability to switch fluidly from a shotgun to an automatic to a scope precision rifle for whatever the situation might demand was engaging and fun. Additionally, all the Descendants' gear contains either rune or modifier slots, which in isolation might only provide a slight boost in one category of proficiency, but when combined can offer some serious build potential. Loot drops from enemies are copious, featuring both weapons and mods, allowing for a bevy of options when choosing a loadout, if not accompanied by the tedium of routinely needing to clean out one's inventory by scrapping obsolete gear. Loot in the form of materials, mods, and gear dropped by enemies encountered throughout Albion's various patrol zones or campaign missions provides a preliminary incentive during the initial hours of the First Descendant, but the most coveted rewards must be earned through the First Descendant's in-game activities, which thankfully are not in short supply. To that end, the First Descendant offers players the ability to replay story missions on a harder difficulty, with the incentive of increased rewards of higher value and rarity than those available during the normal campaign. There are also infiltration missions, which are separate side missions from those in the main campaign that have a compelling risk-reward mechanic in the form of optional modifiers. Before launching into an infiltration mission, players can select various modifiers, such as increased enemy health, to be active during the mission, which can increase the player's overall score for the mission, yielding additional or higher tier rewards. Special operation missions are focused entirely on combat, in the kill all the enemies or defend the point variety, and are wave-based or interval-based missions where players will try to conquer and persevere as far as they can before reaching a fail state and ultimately cashing out with rewards. To round out the endgame are the Void Intercept battles, which are boss fights against big monstrosities that often function like miniature raids. There is a time limit to kill the boss, and the encounters are designed in such a way that team comp and cooperation are mandatory to vanquish these bosses at high levels and receive coveted rewards. Among these rewards are components and reactors. Components provide bonuses such as additional health or damage type resistances, and even can provide set bonuses if multiple components in the same set are equipped. There are also reactors, which increase the power of Descendants' skills and abilities. Reactors are only compatible with specific Descendants. For instance, a reactor which boosts electric-based skills would be much better utilized by Bunny than Viessa. Once acquired, reactors can also be upgraded using consumable items to increase their stats. Components and reactors both provide methods to boost the Descendants' capabilities, in addition to the module system. Modules, or mods, are intertwined with each Descendant's mastery rank. The primary incentive for increasing mastery rank for each Descendant is to acquire additional mod capacity slots for increased tweaks and bonuses for that specific Descendant. Mastery rank is an example of one of the myriad systems in the First Descendant, which are fundamentally built around grinding out experience or acquiring the materials and consumables needed to unlock additional capacities for each Descendant. And here lies the biggest problem with the First Descendant. Virtually all of those grinds are designed to be easily circumvented through the payment of real money microtransactions. Want more equipment and module slots? Want a boost to weapon and material drops to cut down on the time devoted to farming? How about a bundle of crafting resources or consumables to upgrade that piece of gear you really like? How about being able to play as a new Descendant without dedicating hours of gameplay to obtaining the required components? All of these issues can be instantly solved by handing over real money. Now, obviously, this would amount to paying for the privilege of not playing the game. But when the game is intentionally designed with elongated progression mechanics and systems, it's inherently demoralizing to engage with those systems, knowing that all your additional effort isn't actually necessary. There are so many opportunities to purchase a shortcut or convenience that it's abundantly clear the First Descendant was designed with those purchases in mind. Most egregiously, the majority of the Descendants themselves aren't purchasable for $10 US and would require a purchase of a larger bundle of currency. There are even Ultimate Descendants that cost $60 US and come with boosted stats, additional mod slots, and exclusive access to certain mods and capabilities. There is really no way to overlook these types of design choices. While they can be expected in a free-to-play game, it doesn't make them suck any less, or make the aspects of the game designed to coerce players into spending money any more enjoyable.
Extraordinary potential.
There is so much that the First Descendant does right, as is evidenced by how visually striking and mechanically engaging the online shooter can be. The Descendants' varying personalities and capabilities provide a unique flourish to a somewhat played-out genre. Likewise, a wealth of in-game activities and possibilities should keep players engaged well after completing the campaign. It really is a testament to the First Descendant's strongest attributes that the game isn't completely undone by its overt design emphasis on grime mitigating monetization. Caveat emptor, but the First Descendant can still be enjoyed for all its best elements, in spite of its shortcomings. While emerging onto the live shooter scene considerably scathed by self-inflicted design flaws, the First Descendant still manages to stand tall among its peers as one of the best offerings in the online looter shooter genre. Thank you so much for watching our review of the First Descendant. Please be sure to leave a like, and be sure to join the conversation in the comments. Let us know if you're going to be playing the First Descendant, or if you're already playing, how you're liking it. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.